हेलो एंड वेलकम टू परफेक्शन आईएएस। परफेक्शन आईएएस में आप सभी का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस वोटिंग राइट्स टू द नॉन रेसिडेंशियल इंडियंस। And before that starting, we'd like to inform you that Perfection IAS is also conducting online and offline series of the 66th BPSC mains test series. So you can join there, get maximum benefit from there also. You can also get the PDF of this current affair booklet by sending your personal or postal details to the Perfection IAS contact team, and you will be shipped in just a moment of time. So kindly get the benefit of the free booklet available. Post your contact details, postal details to our Perfection IAS team and get this benefit. Now we'll start with the main topic. So the topic is voting rights to the non-residential Indians. Recently it has been in news, and there has been a certain directions which has been decided by the Election Commission of India, that it approached the Law Ministry to permit the non-residential Indians to cast their votes from the overseas through postal ballots, just like the government officers and the police personnel and senior citizens, especially during the COVID times, were used the postal ballots. That is, they will be sending their votes through a kind of a ballot system or postal ballot system or dark ticket system. And that is why the Election Commission has approached, because of the large number of NRIs living in and outside India, and in order to get them exercise their franchisee of the universal adult suffrage, they were actually being kind of mistreated, and so they recommended or they requested the Election Commission of India for a critical account and the exercise of their rights. And that is why when the Election Commission of India approached the Law Ministry, they actually kind of permitted and to allow them for the overseas postal ballots. The Commission informed the government that if it is technically and administratively ready to extend electronically transmitted postal ballot system, that is ETBPS, so it can be used around the elections next year in Assam, West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. So the recent election which was done, West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, so the government or rather election commission was ready, but due to the COVID-19 situation and other efforts, it was kept in a something side aside. But since there has been an use and talk about how it can be done. So what are the issues actually? The actual issue is current voting process of the NRI is an NRI can vote in the constituency in which his or her place of residence as mentioned in the passport is only. So whatever the place is located, whatever the address is being located in the passport, he is eligible to vote in that particular constituency. He or she can only vote in person and will have to produce a passport in the original at the polling station for establishing identity. And the voting rights of NRIs were introduced only in 2011 through an amendment to the Representations of the People Act 1950. What are the strength? So strength is, according to a United Nations reports of the 2015, India's diaspora population is the largest in the world, and that is 16 million people. The registration of the NRI voters in comparison have been very low, a little over lakh. So out of 16 million, only 1 lakh Indians have been registered to vote, and that is why in last year Lok Sabha election, roughly 25,000 flew India to vote. So a large number of people who actually want to vote to participate in, but due to the large distance and due to their busy schedule, they are not unable to physically participate in the voting elections, and that is why they have been demanding so that they can equally participate, because nowadays the global diaspora, the global economy, the global policies actually are being shaped by the people of Indian diaspora as well. So since the globalization is on, interest of Indians outside the India is also one of the matters concerned with the foreign policy of India, and that is why if India government is concerned about the policy of the Indians diaspora in outside the world and all over the world, then those Indians who are actually outside of India should also be able to participate or to choose the government in India, so that they can actually be getting help from the time of existence. So the proposal according to the EC proposal, any NRI interested in voting through a postal ballot in an election will have to inform the returning officer, that is the RO, not later than 5 days, so at least 5 years before then. On receiving such information, RO will dispatch the ballot paper electronically, and then NRI will download that ballot paper, mark their preference on the printout and send it back along with a declaration attested by an officer appointed by the diplomatic or consular representative of India where the NRI is resident. So there will be three processes. First, it will have to be registered at the RO. Then RO will send an electronic form. That electronic form will be filled by the NRI and will be given to the consulate and a diplomatic offer, whatever officer has been appointed by the foreign ministry, and this form will be taken back into the custody. Now, who are the NRIs? The very basic question of NRI is nothing but actually these are the India's foreign exchange management. The FEMA rule actually defines that NRI is an Indian citizen or a foreign national of Indian origin residing outside India for the purpose of employment, carrying on business or vacation in circumstances as would indicate an intention to stay outside India is an indefinite period. So, three or four basic criteria are purpose of employment, carrying on business, and vocation. That is something learning and something temporary work in circumstances that indicate an intention to stay outside of India for an indefinite period. That period is actually unknown. Visiting NRI in total income was actually rose up to 15 lakh during the financial year will continue to remain NRI if the stay does not exceed 180 days, that is more than 6 months. So if they are living in India more than 6 months, then they will not be considered as NRI, but if less than 6 months, less than 181 days, then they will be considered as an NRI. Union Budget has proposed to reduce the period to 120 days for all of the NRI so that they can get a maximum chances. Positives. What are the positives? So decisive force is the government decision to allow NRIs to vote could emerge as a decisive force because lot of the people, at least 16 million people is a lot of votes and can influence the constituency, especially the urban constituency. There will be a constitutional right because after all they are also Indians and the Constitution of India is also getting extended to them. Even they are Indians of Indian persons of Indian origin unless and until they have not accepted the citizenship of other country. Unreasonable restrictions were there, so that is the restriction can be taken out under the Representation of the People Act. The awareness could be increased. They can select the government and they can also influence in the later elections the what are the things running. They can influence the co-citizens that what are the things, what are the facilities available in their country, in the countries in which they are living presently, and what should be done to bring it the same development, the same level of development facilities in India. So it can also influence by the awarenesses. Negatives are violence and secrecy. So there may be chances that the secrecy can be violated because there is not a direct relation between the voter and the machine. So there are 2 or 3 intermediaries and there can be a kind of a secrecy violation. There will be practical challenge because lot of amount of, if all of gets participated, there will be a large burden to take down all the postal electronic ballots to the system and then to send. So it is kind of a practical challenge, but that challenge can be overwhelmed because of the Indian so-called administrative machinery and the efficiency we have. Now what are the steps that has been taken? So the Election Commission of India has took several number of steps. That is, a committee has been formed. So 2014 Lok Sabha elections, a 12-member committee was set up to study mainly 3 options: that is voting by post, voting and Indian mission abroad. So there was also considered voting at the Indian missions. Missions means the consulates or the foreign offices of India in different countries. Similarly, it also comprised of a secret voting and also shot down the proposal of the voting of the Indian missions abroad as they told do not to have adequate resources. Postal ballot and proxy voting. So a concept of proxy voting was also being tested. Proxy voting means a person, NRI can dedicate a person or a group of person, that is he on his behalf, that is a X person, when on the behalf of an NRI can go and cast their vote. But there also arise some problems, and there are problems where he or she may or may not cast the vote as per the choice of that NRI particularly. So this will be a limited franchise. Similarly, these persons who are actually being given the proxy voter status can actually get maligned, can actually be influenced by the local parties, and the purchase of vote can be done. And what happened, a single person can be termed as proxies of multiple voters because all of the family may not have someone else as a friend to get vote. So by appointing a lot number of people to a one proxy voter, there can be mismanagement, and this will not be a complete or just, it will be an unjust use, impractical use of the voting adult franchisee. Similarly, at the present, postal ballots are allowed for certain categories of the voters, like the service sectors, in the police officers, old age workers, especially it was used in the COVID-19 situations. Okay, people with the COVID-19 facilities and all. There has been made an amendment in 2017. A cabinet has passed a proposal to the voting rights by the proxy voting, and however the bill lapsed in the Rajya Sabha because of the solution, and so this is now also pending, and the government may get it passed because seeing the international support of this government. And except the government recently had informed the Supreme Court of the decision of exception of the Election Commission representation of proxy voting. In spite of having lot more of shortcomings and restrictions, government has recently conveyed its message to the Supreme Court that it is going to accept the proxy voting because it can be easily used, and there are a lot of number of peoples which can direct their person as a proxy, XYZ person or proxy, or it can be directed as proxy for a whole of the family, and then they can vote on the behalf of that particular person. Yes, there may be some faultiness, there will be not actual casting of the vote, but that percentage is not very much. That will be 2 or 3% of the leverages of the miscalculation, but at the larger interest it can be carried out. And so the conclusion is ECI should take all the measures to address the concern raised by the committee, especially in the case of proxy voting. It should be made free, fair and partial. Persons selected should have a good background. It should not be of any political background or another more election influential backgrounds. And so the basic idea of having the right to vote, having the government having to select the persons in the power, having the selection of the executive democracy for the people, of the people and by the people, should actually be exercised, and this should be the very basic idea behind such kind of, be it proxy voting, be it electronic postal voting, or be it any other method. So this was all about the voting rights of NRIs. In the next video, we'll discuss about medical diplomacy.